Live from, our genuine houses. It's time once again from the Movie Thing Podcast with your regular host, Brandon and Nicholas G. Nicky G. Yeah. Yeah, dude, I got fucking A. Last night hits me. I get off of work, I come home, I'm just laying in my bed, and all of a sudden, just bam! I just start feeling my nose give me problems, like, oh, what the hell's my nose doing? I do that thing, like, for some reason, I treat my nose like it was, like, the side of a TV that's having an antenna mess up, where I just kept hitting it. I'm just like, nope, breathe through it. Like, I don't know why, don't ask why, instead of just getting up and blowing my nose because I'm lazy. And then it starts slowly moving to my throat. So, yay, Nick, be happy, this is one of those days where you actually, we're doing this over Skype. Because I personally live by the whole thing of only assholes get other people sick.
Well, if you're so you should probably drink lemon juice.
Oh, dude, I actually did. I drank some lemonade, and let me tell you, that hurt like a son of a bitch. I drank and I was like, oh, what? Why? It's probably killing bacteria with all the citric acid and all that. But Jesus Christ, that hurts, dude. Why don't germs ever go down quietly? Like, you get a cut on your hand. Like, I did this before. I had a cut on my hand, and I was like, oh, well, I don't have anything to clean it with. I'll use some of this antibacterial, that shit that's just all pure alcohol. Oh,
yeah.
The hand sanitizer, I used some of that. Dude, I almost went to my knees in pain, because it just hurt so bad. I was like, oh my God, what are you doing to it? Oh, it just, and you know what's the best part is? Okay, so, I know this is kind of a weird thing, just me talking about cuts and wounds, but when I had a cut on my hand, and I did that, I burned like hell, I was like, oh God. So I was like, oh, here's some liquid Band-Aid. Oh, this ought to just cover it up. Little do I know that also has alcohol in it. So I put that on, I'm like, oh God, why? Why again? Oh. Yeah. It's like, I was almost a masochist for a day.
I don't have anything interesting as that. I mean,
I wouldn't say it's interesting, but...
They're freaking, I don't know, I always freaking end up someone waking up or, even if I'm on my laptop at night, and I'm looking over to the side and just always gonna be, a spider crawling.
Oh.
And so, I got up and everything I actually got my boots on and I started stomping the freaking spider out, which I got him, so ha.
Oh wait, you actually had a spider on you.
Not on me, but right next, well, pretty much on my bed.
Oh,
like on the headboards next to it, cause my laptop's usually the only thing on at that time. So of course the light attracts them, and so yeah, it's like, God damn, it's happened probably 3 times by now.
Oh dude, sir, that's, spiders, and it's so stupid, cause they're so small that any human being alive should not be scared of something that small. You should be able to be like, oh, you're tiny, I have, a Kleenex, I should be able to quick, but no, sometimes if you get a big enough spider with me, I'm just like, I'll admit, I am a man when I have shoes, though, like what you did with the boot stomping. I become a man, then I'm like, oh, really, you think you're tough shit? Well, guess what I got? Quick. Yeah, I'll leave you dead there to show your other friends what happens.
Well, that's kind of the same with me. Like, usually if the spider's a couple of feet away, I don't care. I mean, I'll just get up and kill it. No big problem. But if it's, right next to me, then, oh, shit. I have to get up and be like, fuck.
I've had this happen before, though, where I'll be taking a shower, I look up, and there's, in the corner on the ceiling, a spider. And that gets me, because I'm like, I'm vulnerable! Stop it! There's nothing I can do!
I give up! I give up!
I'm in the corner in the tub, just take whatever you want, just leave me alone.
Just throwing your wallet at it, just take it!
Oh, I used to know this guy, he was deathly afraid of bugs, any of them. You didn't even have to see a spider or an ant or anything, you just say, hey, dude, you'd be outside and hey, there's a bee near you, and he would just go sprinting. He'd just be gone. He'd be like, oh, I was just messing with him. And he'd do that girlish scream of, ah! And just sprint. It was just one of those things where I'm just like, seriously? You didn't even see it? Me, I still do the duck and weave sometimes with a wasp or something. Because, I've been conditioned in my life, never swat at the wasp because it pisses them
Yeah.
off. So I kind of do like the, just get the fuck away. We're cool, bro. We're cool.
That's the problem with my little brother. He always flots. He always, swings at them, and then he has to run away, which is always fucking hilarious. But I think with wasps, I think my most badass moment, which is, I don't know, that's pretty sad to say.
Your most badass moment. I killed a bug.
Was being back at Horizon, our old high school, and especially if you go out in the courtyard, there's a bunch of food out there and broken bottles along the sides. So of course, there's a lot of wasps and bees and stuff flying around. Mm-hmm. So of course, we was hanging out with a group, and there's a bunch of wasps, and I just hold my hand out and they freaking just land on it and just walk around on it and just fly back up. I'm like, yeah, that's right. I'm not threatened by you sons of bitches. Then, of course, the minute I got inside, I finally was able to breathe. Because, whew. That's it.
Oh, God.
Yes. On the inside, I was screaming.
You know what is really badass, Nick? Once that wasp lands on your hand, you just, throw it in your mouth. You're just in front of everybody. It lands on your head. And everyone just looks at you. What the fuck? And you start giving that prison stare. Just, what? Everyone just starts backing away slowly.
Take out the stinger and start using it to tattoo my arm.
I know. Take out the stinger and start picking your teeth with it. What?
I think, have you ever eaten a bug?
Yes. It was never anything big, but little gnats in here and there where you actually kind of yeah.
I remember one time I freaking, I'm not sure how the hell the ants got in a bag of potato chips. But I did not look down the potato chips when I was really young, and I started eating potato chips. Did not notice until I looked down, and there was a bunch of ants just crawling around in the thing. So I've been eating the thing for over 5 minutes.
Oh, dude, you're wondering why they were extra crunchy.
Yeah.
You're like, these are the weirdest takes and chips I've ever had. You didn't feel them crawling on your hand when you went to dig in for another chip?
No, they weren't really even crawling on my hands. And that thing is, I didn't even notice. I wasn't even looking down. And once I looked down, I was like, "Oh my god! Son of a bitch!"
Damn it, dude! Oh god, that just literally gave me chills. Ants are, ants are the harmless little creatures for the most part, especially where we live. In this area of Colorado, we don't get big, dangerous fire ants or anything like that. We kind of just get the sugar ants that really just want sugar. But just having a bunch of them on your food or whatever, that's I don't know. Yeah, well, the bug hour with Nick and Brandon. Oh shit. How you doing, Nick, though?
I'm doing pretty good.
You're doing
Nothing's crazy. And I've been really getting pumped up for the Halloween season. Me and my brother we're just looking up stuff right now to decorate the front lawn and see what we're gonna do.
Halloween is, how people like to scare people on Halloween, trick or treat, and you're like, "Rrr!" Take it one step further. Find a group of kids, not little kids, because that'd be mean, and they'd also be with parents, but maybe a group of maybe preteens, and get a real weapon, like a real knife or something, and don't act like you're gonna scare them, but slowly walk to them, and one of them's gonna try to act like a badass. You grab him and you just start dragging him to the side of your house, and just he's trying to fight you, and they're like, "Oh my god!" And then you have your brother also with a weapon, walking slowly towards them. Guarantee they'll sprint.
Yeah, is that? I'll probably get away with that 2 times before the cops arrest me for assault.
I would be surprised if you got away with it 1 time. Because you know exactly where those kids are running to.
Or attempted kidnapping.
I actually tried to scare people. This was a few years ago, back sophomore year of high school. A buddy of mine tried to scare people on Halloween. We're and I did this thing where I was laying underneath leaves and a blanket and all that, and just had a fake hand. And I would occasionally just put the hand on someone's foot when they walk by. Just as oh god. I accidentally did that to a little kid, and I went and it tripped him. He fell. He started crying. I'm like, oh, fuck me. And the parent gave me that look of, you dumb piece of shit. I felt so bad. I stopped scaring him after that. I'm like, all right, I'm up. And he kept scaring him, but I would just be the guy trying to be I'm handing out candy. What's that behind you?
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing at our house. No one's safe. You are not safe if you're a kid. I mean, especially because, I mean, when you first walk in front of our house, I mean, it's very decorated for the most part. Halloween is a big thing for, at least me and my brothers. So we go all out. And so, of course, you got tombstones and fog and, music playing. So, you have to have some balls as a kid to want to go up there and get candy. There are people who will.
Mash.
Exactly, because they will. So, of course, because you'll get the kids that will sit there at the end of the yard or the driveway and they'll just stand there waiting for the next group to go by. So it's always kind of funny, but we still end up getting them either way.
It would be a novel idea if someone didn't scare people in front of their own house, in front of other people's houses. No one would expect it. The person would be trick or treat, and then you just run around the corners, and even that guy, what the fuck?
Well, I think one of the things where I might have to put signs up this year. Well, I mean, this year we're gonna have a ground fogger, fog machine, so it's just gonna be the fog that goes on the ground. Before a couple of years ago, we had a regular fog machine. My friend Brandon, other Brandon.
I figured as much. I would, unless you're getting me doing shit when I'm in a drunken state, like Brandon, you said you would, dude.
Go scare these kids with a knife.
Actually stab one of them in the hand to make sure they know you mean business.
But we had one that wasn't a ground fog, so the fog just spreads wherever, and it would just fill up the freaking street, so we'd have it running the whole time.
Can't imagine your electric bill.
Yeah, so it's of course I had to drive pretty slow just to get it past because there's so much fog in the street. It's fun, but it's just one of the things where it's shit, if a cop comes by.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell everybody, I'm kind of a holiday cranky old man where I don't believe in decorating shit. Like Christmas, I was like, fuck that. Halloween, no. Thanksgiving, hell no. Any other holiday, fuck no. Definitely not. I mean, I believe in the Christmas tree and maybe a couple jack-o'-lanterns for Halloween, but doing what you do where you go all out and you're like, oh, we actually killed a homeless guy, now he's hanging in the tree. I'm just like, that's too much work for one night. So I'm just gonna not do anything. I mean, you'll be hard pressed if I even dress up sometimes. Even if I go hang out with everybody on Halloween, they're like, oh, what are you supposed to be? I'm like, I'm Brandon.
Oh, you're one of those people.
I'm Brandon from the Bloody Screen podcast. It's a different Brandon than you know. He wears this hat, not this hat.
In his Groucho Marx glasses.
I know, dear. I have come to accept that I'm just going to be an old man. Literally on my Facebook yesterday, I just threw up a bunch of Dean Martin and Frank Sinatra music because I'm just like, you know what? I'm so sick and tired of everyone else on my Facebook just like, oh, look at this band that's a bunch of prepubescent boys just sitting there screaming like, ah! And I really can't stand that shit. So I'm like, here's what real men, back when every man smoked cigarettes and was just manly, burly men.
Yeah, I can definitely agree with you there, especially because I saw one of my friends posting, it's like, oh my god, I just got VIP tickets to, I think it was Date to Remember or something, and I was like, great, because that doesn't affect me in one single way.
It's like, is it really VIP if they're just giving them to you?
Exactly. I mean, it's one of those things too where it's like, from what I heard, VIP tickets, I mean, I guess, it's kind of, you might get them to meet the band, but for the whole show, you're staring at the back of their heads.
You know what I think about VIP tickets? Unless it's an actual band that made a lot of money, it does not matter to me. I'm not saying A Day to Remember doesn't make a lot of money, I'm just not calling them an actual band. I was like, if someone came up to me and said, dude, I got VIP tickets for Metallica, I'd be like, dude, drop trow, I will suck your dick for those. Now, if someone came up to me like, hey, I got VIP tickets to of Mice and Men, I'm like, to a book? What are you talking about? I did that to Nick. I think I mentioned this before, just because it always annoys me when people like to throw music lyrics on, just post them, and I'm just sitting there like, why? What reaction do you expect to get out of people when you do this? I'm really genuinely curious. Are you supposed to get people saying, oh, I love that band, or are you supposed to be people saying, like, wow, that's really deep, or what are you looking for? What do you want? Oh, God. Probably shouldn't have taken Sudafed right now. That's all I can say. It's like, I took it and I'm just like, whoa. Whoa. Alright, let's get into the top, top whatever. Top 10, top 20. Top 20 star meter. Dude, oh, okay, seriously? Alright. I just said the star meter, and I'm not even kidding. So IMDb has the star meter, and guess who's number 2?
Titanic?
No, star. People.
Oh. I don't know.
Miley Cyrus.
What?
Yeah, and this is like a week of September 6th, so this is recent. And all I can say is, you said it was a star meter. She is not a star. She is some little girl with daddy issues. And the only reason why she's even famous is because her dad was moderately famous. I guarantee most of this generation did not even know who her dad was until she came around.
Hoorah.
And then you got freaking Ben Affleck as number 4. And I'm like, so you mean to tell me the next Batman is not as high up as Miley Cyrus? And this shows how much I know about stars, because number 1 is Chloe Grace Moretz, or Moritz. I don't really know how to pronounce her name. I don't even know who that is.
Same here. No clue.
I don't know who Lily Collin is. I don't know who Jamie Campbell Bower is. I don't know who Amber Heard is. I know who Aaron Johnson is, but I don't know who Shailene, more than half this top 10 top stars, I don't know who they are. So apparently they're not stars. I count a star as somebody that we all know.
Well, Ben Affleck, you better start twerking, because you need to get up on that list.
No, he's like, I'm going to be number 1. I'm just going to make a post saying Batman should start twerking, and just see what happens. Let's just see. Well, shit, the only one movie came out this whole week, so we'll just start out with our traditional number 5. Can you guess what it is, Nick? I'll give you a hint, same as last week.
That doesn't help.
Oh. Okay.
No clue.
Another hint. It's like a spin-off of another children's movie.
Ah, crap. I still have no idea.
Planes.
Oh. Holy crap.
Yeah, it's still here. It's been number 5 for like 3 fucking weeks. So, yay. I don't know how much more we can talk about Planes. Neither one of us saw it. It's about the world above cars. And it hasn't, compared to like the big kid blockbuster this year of Despicable Me 2, this is chump change in comparison. Because Despicable Me 2 made $300 million. This made $79 million. So, yay. Number 4 is something I'm glad to see finally moving down, but it's still there. We're the Millers. Yep. That other comedy with Jennifer Aniston, who's furthermore proving that I don't know who the hell made this, but I hear good things about this. I don't know. I've been hearing some good things about it, but I'm still not paying to see it.
Yeah, I've heard basically mixed reactions. More good than bad.
The good things I hear about it aren't from like actual critics, though. It's from your general audience. The general audience who I know who actually have seen this, they're like, "Oh yeah, it was funny. It was a good film." Critics that I like read and listen to, they're saying kind of the opposite of it. They're kind of like, "This is meh at best." So, and I mean, it's doing great. I mean, it didn't make like Hangover money, but it did pretty good for raunchy comedy. I mean, it made $124 million. So, congratulations. Now, a movie that apparently has been in the box office 2 weeks, but did not even know it was in the box office at all. Instructions not included. Alright, let's click to see. Instructions not included. A man who has made a new life for himself and his daughter left on his doorstep 6 years ago finds a family threatened with birth mother resurfaces. God, I know I sound like an idiot that I didn't even know what that word was for a second. I was like, wait, what? This is a indie film if I've ever seen one.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking, Instructions Not Included. I thought wasn't that a comedy last year?
No? It's 2013. It's normally if it's one of those movies that were like at Fantastic Fest or something, they will actually say, oh, it was actually released in like 2011 or whatever. This one, no, it says right on IMDb. This is brand spanking new. But I have to say, for no fucking advertisement and me never even hearing of this fucking movie, they're doing pretty well. I mean, it's been in the box office 2 weeks, made $20 million. Indie movie, that's pretty damn good.
Was it at the Sundance Festival?
It might have been. It might have been at this year's Sundance.
Cause I think I've heard something on it, but I've only seen maybe one TV commercial so far, and that's only like a couple days ago.
Okay, from what I'm picturing, I think you might be right. It probably was at one of these movie conventions, and it's one of those, like, it's just now released into the mainstream audience, so, congratulations. This looks, this kind of movie, from just that reaction tells me, or from what that synopsis tells me, that it's, it's just one of those, it's like a Little Miss Sunshine, where it's an indie comedy. Hipsters are going to love the ever-living shit out of it, but your general audience, it ain't going to make Worth a Miller's money or anything. It's going to be gone probably next week.
Maybe a Hallmark movie at best. Yeah.
It might become a cult classic if it's actually any good, like Little Miss Sunshine and all that shit. But I doubt it. I don't see. Like I said, I haven't heard anyone talking about this movie. So, I don't know. I mean, apparently you heard about it a little bit earlier. Number 2 is a movie I've been seeing pimped off about, and I already had my spiel about how much I just don't like Oprah. So I can tell you what number 2 is. It's Lee Daniels' The Butler. Yeah, I actually have been seeing quite a bit of advertisement, and this movie's doing really fucking good. Like, holy shit. This movie, do you think this movie's going to be Oscar-worthy?
Yeah, I definitely think it's going to be nominated.
I think it's going to be nominated, but I don't think it has a chance in hell in winning. My reason for that is, okay, so this is the first Oscar-type movie we've had come out this year so far. The rest of the Oscar movies don't come out quite just yet. They usually come out towards the end of the year, around November, December, around there. And I think whatever, they were probably at, Sundance or whatever, those Oscar movies, and they're going to be released. And those are the ones that are going to blow this movie out of the fucking water. When everyone hears what the critics have to say about it, they're going to be like, what the fuck? And this movie's going to be nominated, but I don't think it's going to win. Unless Oprah just buys the shit out of the Academy. Which, that has never happened.
No.
Never. No. The Academy has never been bought over. I don't know. A little side note. What is your thoughts on the Academy Awards?
For me, it's not really too crazy. I mean, I love watching the Oscars. I mean, last year was, particularly fun because you had Seth MacFarlane, and which I think is the best thing when they have kind of these comedians who come on, Alec Baldwin and Steve Martin, Tina Fey, and especially, I thought Seth MacFarlane was probably one of my favorites. I've gone back and actually watched that on YouTube, but for the most part, Oscars is something I'm not really, crazy about for the films, unless, it's some of them I've seen and I could root for, but otherwise it's not too crazy for me.
I'm with you on that. Like, last year's, I was actually really happy with how last year's turned out. It wasn't a bunch of artsy films that won, it was actual good films that won. And I would have to say the year before that, fucking...
Where do I start?
Will he ask me in public?
How much do I spend?
Will I cry?
Get all the help you need to find the perfect...
Fucking IMDb. I don't know if... The good thing is no one heard that, but yeah. Those assholes that... You know those shitty fucking ads that just start playing and you can't do anything about them?
Yes.
That's what... Yeah. And I was like, I can't mute it without muting you, so I'm just like, fuck this shit. I'm just gonna, fuck it. I already know what number 1 is. But anyways, like the year before last year, where like the artist one, I think was, or the one that was all black and white, no sound.
Yeah.
And that won Best Picture for 2011.
Yeah.
I thought that was bullshit. I'm like, okay, I'm sorry. Sometimes you guys get too hooked up on just this art shit, and it just drives me up the wall. I just don't care. I'm going to sound like I'm going to sound like that, asshole, but art films are something you can watch to a point. Like The Artist, I think, is even on Netflix. I have no ambition to ever watch that. I don't like black and white, no sound films. I don't think they're good. I can't get invested in the characters. And that is just me.
I've seen a couple of Charlie Chaplin films that I liked.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, do you remember who the host was that year?
Oh, fuck, I don't remember.
I think it was Billy Crystal. I mean, that's the thing, too, with the Oscar thing is, because, if you have any other actor who hasn't really been a comedian, their timing is off, their jokes aren't that good, so that's why I think they've really gotten better when they have had all these comedians come out, or just, these, TV show writers and stuff that, know great timing and improv and all that stuff, because it makes it a lot more entertaining.
Yeah, just go to the SNL guys who are great at improv. I should put that in quotes by now, but just find improv people. I know that sounds weird because I'm not even the biggest fan of improv, but you find people who are just naturally funny, and that works for you. I like when you, during the Oscars, even last year, when you bring on these actors who are not naturally just funny, they come off as, it comes off as sad. Like they had, was it last year that had that, I'm trying to remember, like they had one guy that just, shit, I can't remember last year's Oscars. I'm not gonna lie, people. Yeah,
thinking of there's a guy from actual guy from Argo. He came on, and you couldn't really. It's hard to understand by his accent, but for the most part, it's kind of, he didn't really have any presence per se. Which, I mean, you can't blame him. He wasn't an actor, but I think the one that was kind of bad was the Avengers when they kind of came out.
Oh yeah.
'Cause it was just off, and it was just weird because because that's the thing too, is they always, most actors, they'll just come up with something backstage like right before they come out, and so of course it doesn't really work for them. So
and honestly, the most memorable thing of last year's Academy was just the "We Saw Your Boobs" musical, because that was just hilarious. I just had a kick out of that, and just them panning to every chick he said during the Oscars. Some of them would glare at Seth MacFarlane. I remember Jennifer Lawrence was all happy because he said, "No, we have not seen your boob yet," and she was all like, "Yeah." I was like, "That." See, that's what I remember. I don't remember even some of the films that they presented there. I was like, I did get a little annoyed at last year's Oscars just for the sole fact that Life of Pi, which I haven't seen yet, but god damn, I mean that was just being nominated for every little thing. I mean, it didn't win. It won like 2 things. But it was nominated for so fucking much. I'm like, give other movies a shot. I really want them to start giving other movies a shot. Like, the one Oscar I wish I would have seen, the one where Lord of the Rings actually won the Academy Award for Best Picture. I was like, that would have been so great seeing Return of the King win.
Yeah.
Alright, and number 1. What is number 1, Nick? It's the only movie that came out this week.
I do not know this. Then I don't watch a lot of TV, so.
It's a badass ball
Riddick.
dude. Yeah, there you go. First off, what's your thoughts of the Riddick movies?
I enjoy them. I mean, I don't really look for a lot of, depth in the movie, of course. I mean, I haven't seen the first one. Of course, I've seen the Chronicles of Riddick, which,
You never saw Pitch Black?
Nope. I mean, I've seen vague parts of it, but I have not seen the full movie.
Out of the 2 Riddick movies that actually are out, or I guess all 3 of them are out, but out of the 2 I've seen, Pitch Black is the best, because Pitch Black is more of that survival type thing, where it's a survival horror thing, where they kind of go, from what I've seen in the trailers of this new Riddick movie, they're going back to that, where, they have the bounty hunters, and then they go back to, from what it looked like to me, they go back to the planet he originally was on Pitch Black, where it was just a bunch of monsters that come out during the night and kill everybody. All I can say, though, is, sadly, Riddick is kind of a one-note kind of dude. He has, one type of story. A wanted badass criminal, and all he does is fight bounty hunters. I mean, that's the 2 movies that they have, it's kind of the same premise. I mean, granted, Chronicles of Riddick had that whole thing, you got these one weird fucking people, which it's really weird, because the way Chronicles of Riddick ended, it doesn't seem like they even tried in this movie. In this new Riddick movie. They don't, I don't know, have you seen the trailer to the new one?
Yes, I have.
Did you see anything that referenced Chronicles of Riddick at all?
No, not really. I mean, I think I mean, what have you heard about the movie specifically?
Honestly, I haven't heard anything about it.
I've heard it was actually really good, especially because Vin Diesel actually owns the rights to it right now. Like, he pretty much bought it. So,
shit.
I mean, so this is obviously something, he loves, and so, apparently, he made a really good movie with this.
Now you're making me really want to go see this, because, I mean, the Riddick movies are one of my guilty pleasures where I'm like, yeah, they're not good, but I enjoy watching them. I never pay to see them in theaters, but I don't know if you're hearing good things about this. I don't know. I'm really curious how they tie it in, because at the end of the Chronicles of Riddick, I'm not even going to call spoiler because it's a pretty old movie. He is basically in charge of that. The group of people that kill everybody. I forget what the hell they're called. I don't know.
We just call them the Empire or something.
Yeah, Empire. Generic villains that like to go around, purifying the galaxy, whatever. Blankety blank blank blank. This new one really just looked like it was just a Mercs versus Riddick again, and I'm just like, well, that's a fun story, I'm not gonna lie. And I'm glad they got rid of that fucking annoying ass chick from what I saw. That was in the first two Riddick movies, the Jack, I think her name was.
Yeah.
She annoyed the piss out of me. I'm just like, God damn it. Because in the first one, she tries to dress up like a dude and acts like a dude the whole time. And then at the end, Riddick's like, oh, Jack's actually a girl. And it was like, oh, okay, he did look pretty much like a chick as it is. And then in Chronicles of Riddick, she was like, oh, I'm a badass. And I was like, no, you're annoying now, so shut the fuck up.
Well, she was in prison.
Oh, God. Yeah, I don't know. Have you ever played the Riddick games out of a little side note?
I have not.
I have, and as someone who sucks at stealth, they're really, really hard for me. I just didn't think they were as great, because everyone says, Escape from Butcher Bay is so great. I'm like, it was okay. It was meh. But anyways, let's get into some movie news, Nicky G. What do you got for me?
Well, first of all, I guess we'll use that little Riddick to transfer over here, as in Vin Diesel's thoughts on who's new Batman.
What's his thoughts?
And I quote, I don't give a fuck about Batman. I don't think he's meaning that in a bad way, but he says, or who plays Batman. So basically, he picked the question on the jar, said, and the parents' question was like, oh, what do you think you'd make a good Batman? I said, sorry guys, this was just too fun. So I don't think he would be looking for Batman, but he did go to Ben Affleck's defense, saying, hey, just leave the guy alone, let him live this, let Warner Brothers hire who they want to hire to do this thing. I mean, he got an Oscar, just give him some credit, leave him alone. So basically what we have been, saying a lot, so
I know.
I'm pretty...
It really is that, and I honestly, Nick, how Vin Diesel's actually a really nerdy guy. And
yeah.
He's actually some guy, some of his movies like Fast and Furious, I'm just like, those are dog shit. But I like him as a guy. I think he's a really cool guy, and he makes some movies I actually like. And just him saying, I'm with him on that. I don't care who plays Batman. I mean, Warner Brothers has not turned us wrong as of late with their movies. I mean, yeah, the Green Lantern movie kind of blow, but guess what? They stopped. If their movies suck, guess what? They don't do them again. I mean, everyone had their whole thing against Superman, Man of Steel, and honestly, you want to know my thoughts with that right now, Nick?
What's that?
If that movie was the exact same movie, exact plot, everything, but it would have said directed by Christopher Nolan instead of Zack Snyder, everyone would have thought it was a masterpiece.
Well, of course.
These people are such fucking hypocrites on what they think is so great. There's, Zack Snyder, he ruined The Watchmen. I was like, I'm sorry, no he didn't. I have read the comic, I have watched the movie. They're almost the same fucking thing, except the ending is a little different. I mean, yeah, the movie can't get as deep, but then again, the movie has to be 2 hours. Okay? I'm sorry, guys. Tough shit. The Watchmen movie wasn't bad. 300 was pretty... Zack Snyder makes fun films, and that's kind of what you want with especially a Superman movie. I mean, even though I thought the Superman movie got deeper than any other Superman movie ever has before.
Especially, one of my favorite films out there is Dawn of the Dead, which of course was directed by Zack Snyder.
Mm-hmm. Oh, the remake.
Yes, the remake.
And that's one of the best zombie films out there, in my opinion. I mean, it's better than World War Z, in my opinion. I just get so sick and tired of these people who flip out over stupid. It's like this whole thing, like, you know, everyone's gonna freak out when Robert Downey Jr. stops playing Iron Man. I'm sorry, people. It's just gonna happen. You know, Christian Bale didn't want to keep playing Batman. Don't try to make him. Don't try to be like, well, no, he has to play it till he dies. That's the only thing. You're gonna get tired of it. All right? It's just. Oh God. And then everyone freaks out about Ben Affleck because they completely forgot about how, you know, it's funny how the movie community was all behind Affleck for the longest time. Ever since like 2010, they've been behind him. They were like, yeah, The Town was great, Argo amazing. What was the other movie he made? Made another one.
I cannot remember.
He has another one out there. I forget what it was called. But yeah, they're like, oh, he's like such a great director. He's gonna be Batman. Oh fuck! Now we got Daredevil again.
Yeah, that was one thing I heard the whole time. Oh, Daredevil. Daredevil was what, 8 years ago?
Oh God, I'm surprised some of them even remember it. I don't even remember the plot to Daredevil. I mean, it was a bad movie. You know why it was a bad movie? Because they never made a sequel to it. The character has not been in film since that. It was bad. We all know it. Affleck knows it. Everyone knows it. You think he's gonna fuck up Batman? Like, give me a frickin'... Oh, it drives me nuts. I just want to just look at the internet straight in the eye and just say, shut the fuck up. Just shut up. Just don't. If your life is so meaningless that you have to get pissed off about someone playing Batman, then go sit in the corner. Oh, alright. Anyways, what else?
Well, Brian, I've seen that little book you kept hidden, that 50 Shades of Grey.
No, shut up. I try to hide it with my porn collection.
But, most fans are pretty upset with the casting, which they have started a petition, which the casting is, for me, it's kind of, well, then again, I don't give a shit about this movie. It's not like I'm going to go see it. But
You're not?
But for the most part, it's like, I'm not sure because how great the casting is, because I haven't really seen. Have you seen Sons of Anarchy?
Yeah, I know who's going to be the main guy.
Yeah. So yeah, your main character from Sons of Anarchy.
He was in Pacific Rim, for people who haven't seen it. He was the main character in Pacific Rim.
Yeah, Charlie, I'm just the H, kind of no idea how to pronounce that last name.
I don't remember either. All I could say is, holy shit, these people are just... What is with fans today? They are crazy as fuck, Nick.
Oh, I mean, they got the internet, they got a voice. I mean, of course right here it's saying, you got a petition on change.org, which I've signed some petitions on there. None really based on movies or anything like that.
They had a petition trying to get Ben Affleck not being Batman. Guess where that went?
Right down the toilet.
Yeah, that's where this one's going to. Okay, internet. Let's have another chat. Petitions don't work. Like, ever. You know what works? If actually a large quantity of people hate it. Like, what we saw with, like, Microsoft, where they actually saw people voting with their dollars. That's the only way you're going to get this to stop. I'm sorry if your pornographic book is going to be changed because it's not what I pictured it to be. Well, guess what? You know what you need to do? Get a bunch of money, buy the rights to the book, make your own fucking movie, and then you could put whatever you want. But since we both know that's never going to happen, just deal with it. It's just how it's going to happen. You know, I would be upset too, say if, like, Peter Jackson wasn't making Lord of the Rings and someone else made Lord of the Rings and they totally dicked it up. They added sparkling elves or whatever. In a way, they're kind of sparkling in Lord of the Rings sometimes. But anyways, they had sparkling elves and I was like, oh, this is stupid. I'd be pissed. I'm not going to lie. I'd be pissed. I'd probably get a couple rants. But guess what? I'd move on with my life. And that's exactly what you're going to do. So your petitions, all that, it's a bunch of shit. The guy's not a bad actor. Watch Sons of Anarchy. He's a great actor. It's a great show. It's not like they got Ron Perlman to be the guy. So deal with it. Who the hell did they want? Did they say who they wanted?
I don't know. James Earl Jones or something.
Yes, they wanted... I mean, honestly, it's just like people freaking out over any casting they do. Eventually, Hollywood's just going to stop announcing who's being who. It's just so to keep people to shut up.
I mean,
They're going to be like...
Of course, on the internet, they have a voice now. They could say whatever they want. Especially because, this petition it says it's picked up 17,000 signatures, which, still...
It's nothing.
Yeah, that's nothing.
They need over 100,000 to get a voice.
Exactly. You said it right there. They just don't have a voice. Unless you're going directly up to Hollywood. Exactly. If you are voting with your dollars, that's the only way you're going to change anything.
That's the only way you get a voice in media. You don't buy it. You don't go see the movie. See, all these people who are bitching about, he's going to be 50 Shades of Grey, guarantee all those 17,000 are going to pay a movie ticket to go see it. They're going to see it anyways. And Hollywood doesn't care if you like it or not. They got their money. Okay? It's really turning into one of these things. If you don't like something, you don't buy it. Okay? I'm not trying to tell people don't have a voice, don't go on the internet and just release your rage. Because, hell, that'd be very hypocritical of me, because that's what I do. But to go so far to try to get petitions signed and all that shit, just get on there, bitch, moan, complain, do what you do best, and then move on. That's what we all do. That's what everyone does. You get mad, that's stupid, and then you move on. You don't get mad at other people because they have different views than you. Like, I hear a bunch of people, I like some of these, there's a certain group of people, Nate, that we, you and I both know, or not know, but we follow, and they didn't mind the whole Ben Affleck being Batman thing. They got a lot of hate for that. And my whole thinking is, fuck you. Don't hate people for having a different opinion than you. And that is something I wish I could just get everyone in the same boat.
I think we're ever do that. Humans are very tribalistic. We are the star-belly sneeches, Brandon.
I know. Everyone needs to have everyone be like them. If not, then, we'd be actually at world peace if everyone didn't try to make everyone have the same exact thoughts and views as them. Oh. And in a way, that's kind of ironic how I want people to have their own free will and be their own human being. And that's my own thoughts, and I'm trying to get everyone else to have those same thoughts, so in a way, that's... Yeah, have my thoughts, and then we will be happy. But I have also learned that, I was talking to some guy at my work, and he was saying how he doesn't like the Goonies, and I just asked him specifically why, and he just said he just doesn't like any part of it. And I was like, well, I don't care that you don't like what I like, and I won't ever try to convince you to like what I like. That is you. I would just like I was just asking for his opinion. That's what I do for people who listen to our show. I asked for your opinion. Like, when we do a review, I always ask, what do you think of this video game? Because, it sparks conversation, if not. I don't want anyone coming in, I don't like it when people go into places, like, they hear or listen to a review, and they're sitting there and say, oh, you're wrong, you're stupid, this had so much more this. No, you could just say, I liked it because this, and, what is so hard about that? Voice your opinion, but do it in a respectable, human-like way.
Well, you're more likely to get hurt than, going around saying, oh, you're a fag, you're a bitch, you disagree with me, so I have to fucking hate you.
I know, I hate you. You always see that, especially YouTube comments, Jesus Christ. YouTube comments are just, always turned into those things where someone doesn't... It's always funny to me, okay, you know how people, will put up music on YouTube?
Yes.
Why anyone will ever press the dislike button on a song they don't like. Why? Why even have that for that? Oh, I hate this song, I hate this band, I'm going to dislike it, I'm going to say that this music's awful. Why? Just don't listen to it.
Exactly. Sometimes I think it's out of spite. Sometimes you see those comments where it's the blank out of numbers is, then some quote they are in hell right now. It's more of a joke, not, serious. But then, of course, then you have a bunch more dislikes because of that comment. Just because, I think it's just a spite. But it's one of the things where, even when I'm on YouTube, I never sign into an account to like or dislike. I just, go YouTube about without having to sign in, because for me, that's just too much work.
I've never wondered, you and me are in the same boat. I don't comment on YouTube. I never feel the need to. I'm just what's the point? And it's not like I'm gonna go try to, sometimes I get a kick out of scrolling down through YouTube comments. You see people arguing over there, and I'm just you have something better to do. You have anything better to do. And if I ever commented on a YouTube post, it's not like I'm going to follow that post to see if anyone replied to my comment or anything. I just don't, it's not something I care about. I don't know. It's our world, Nicky G, has turned into this horrible, God, we get some weird conversations. Our world has turned into like this whole thing where either, people, everyone has their own opinion, which is fine, I like that. But everyone wants your opinion to be wrong. And then also I've noticed, and I'm talking about internet, where people get overly touchy about everything. Like, I remember this one video I saw, and you saw the same thing, where they were playing through Street Fighter Cross Tekken, and one of the guys said, "Oh, that chick right there is a transvestite." And then one of the other guys who were doing the playthrough video kept saying tranny the whole time. Well, you go down in the comments section, and oh fucking lord, apparently a transvestite was on there, and whatever it is, was genuinely pissed. Just pissed that they would say tranny. Saying that's hating. That's like calling a gay person fag, And I'm the whole time I'm thinking, he's like, no, it's nothing like that. He didn't say anything of I hate all trannies or they should die at a burning cross or anything. It was no hate. It's just slang. That's all it is. It's not a racial term. It's nothing against that, those type of people. I mean, it's kind of gross, I'm not gonna lie. But it's just like one of those things where it's just like, get over it, alright? God, it drives me nuts. It is one of those, I know I kind of sound like a horrible human being, but fuck it, I don't care, I'll call you a tranny, I'll call you a freak if I want. It really almost made me want to, that's like one of those times where I wanted to be an internet troll and get on the comment section and just type in tranny as much as I can.
Just
sit there.
Sitting there going through all your tranny jokes.
I know, tranny, freak, hideous, and to my knowledge, I've never met one, but I wouldn't be judgmental to them, but if you're gonna throw a hissy fit about it, it's like the same people that get pissed off if you say retard. Well, I actually laughed at some chick in my work because she's like, retard's very offensive. I have a brother that's mentally challenged. And I'm like, oh, that's pretty retarded that you would get pissed off about that. It's a word, okay? And the fact you would get offended by that makes you a fucking retard. I'm sorry, words should never be offensive to anybody.
And especially, just one thing where I don't think any of us would go up to a retard and say, you're retarded. It's not, not because we don't have the balls to do it. It's because, we're not that messed up to do it.
I'm not a horrible human being, yeah. I work at some shitty store, so yeah, there's gonna be retarded people that work there. But am I nice to them? Yes. Do I treat them like garbage? No. I'm just like, oh, hey, I do I say like, hey, retard? No, I'm just like, hey, how's it going? And they try to like speak and do whatever they do, and then I'm just like, all right, whatever, I don't judge. Maybe in my head I'm just like, please don't touch me. I do admit that. No, that is normal. You honestly think about it, Nick. Most people, unless you live with like someone who is mentally handicapped or whatever, or retarded, let's just call it what it is. Unless you live with someone like that, most human beings don't really like to be touched by it. It's just a knee-jerk reaction where you're just like, you just don't want to touch them. And it's nothing against them. It's just something where most people just don't want to do it.
It's just uncomfortable, and sometimes you don't know what's going to happen. It's, it's just...
You just have that whole thing. Honestly, with me personally, I kind of want to believe that people, you just have that first initial thought that, oh God, they're dirty, sticky, whatever. You just automatically think that. They could be clean as a whistle, and you're just going to be like, oh, don't touch me. Goddamn. I know, if we don't get hate mail with this, I'll be kind of amazed. If we don't get a bunch of like, you guys are horrible human beings.
Well, I'm about to take it to the next step. For me, it's more, don't pet me, Lenny.
Oh, that's the best, Nick. That is the best. Back when I was in middle school, we used to have this retarded kid who used to like run around and just hug people. He'd just hug everybody. And that is so uncomfortable, I tell you what, because he'd just like run around, get that kid, and just run and just grab you and just hug you and then run away. And you're just like, oh God, it's just uncomfortable, really.
Yeah, I mean, anyone you don't know is coming up to you and, touching you, just invading your personal space, and that's,
unless you're a really handsy person, I am in that boat. I have some people that I work with who are very handsy. They'll just come up to you and just start like I have my own supervisor will like come up to me, start like touching my shoulders and shit. I'm just like, dude, that is so uncomfortable. Whatever happened to a handshake? Let's keep it formality. I never assume anything like, oh, he's trying to hit me. No, I don't do that. I'm just like, oh, it's a handsy person. Great. And I get that way. I mean, unless like, I'm gonna sound like a weirdo now. Unless you have a vagina, I really don't even want you touching me at the time.
I can understand that.
Like I some of our own friends, like they're dudes, and they'll come up to you like, hey, and they hug each other and stuff. I don't hug dudes. I just don't do it. I'm just like unless they're like if it's my grandfather or something, I'll hug them and stuff. That's fine because it's family. It's it don't get weird. When it's a buddy of yours, you'll high five, just like, hey, what's going on? We don't even need a handshake, whatever.
I'll generally do that. Yeah, either the high five or the handshake hug. It's not the full wrap around. It's just handshake, pat on the back. There you go.
Yeah, if that. I mean, I don't know. It's just like that's always been my personal space. I am kind of that guy who's just like, don't touch me. Really, I'm not even a germaphobe. I just don't touch me. Oh God. Oh, I do have like a side thing. Okay, so I don't know what made me think of this. I just want to say, I wish every human being, I wish there was a law, Nick, that says that human beings is a grand must that they bathe. Now, I understand if you're homeless, it's hard. But if you're not homeless, you have no excuse. No excuse.
Not even if you're French.
Yeah, no. Literally, I was over there, I was stalking something. And this guy, he was picking up lettuce or whatever. He went and grabbed ahead of us. But he smelled like such BO for a full 3 minutes as they were finishing up. I couldn't breathe. Because he was gone. He stood there for about 30 seconds, and I was like, oh God, I'm going to puke. You got to go, dude, got to go. And then it lingered. And it burned. It literally was bringing me almost to tears, like an onion type style. It was so bad. And that's when I decided, I was like, oh my God. Nick, we're running for political office, and one of our things is everyone must fucking bathe. If you do not bathe, and say an officer sees you, he will write you with a $1,000 ticket. It's going to be worse than a DUI. It's going to be horrible. It's going to be the worst thing ever.
Oh man, nerd conventions are going to pay a lot of taxes.
Oh God. Actually, honestly, Comic-Con wasn't that bad with BO. The Denver Comic-Con I was at. Not too bad. Actually, there was we live in Colorado, one of the thinnest states, which makes me so happy when I go to one of those nerd conventions and you have nerdy girls who, they're not supermodel status, but they're not fat. And then you get you get pretty attractive girls dressing up nerdy, and you're just like, I love my state. I love being in a thinner state, because I've been down to southern states and I've been to some nerdy stuff in those southern states, and it's awful. It is just like, oh Lord, what in the what century made you think that you could pull that off? You're with friends right now. Did they look at you and say, this is acceptable?
Wow, look at all these beach volleyballs rolling around with Batman symbols on them. Oh wait, those are volleyballs or beach balls. What the hell?
It's more or less like, oh my God, how many did Leia just keep eating until she it's like Jabba didn't like Leia being skinny, so he kept feeding her that disgusting shit inside his whatever that thing was, that frog he kept eating. He kept feeding her those, and she just got fatter and fatter and fatter. It was just yeah. Oh shit, you did do that last week, huh? I was gonna say one more big thing that we want to talk about was what's his name? Benedict Cumberbatch might be a Sith Lord in Star Wars. Might be the main villain. Oh, dude, I am so excited right now for the Into Darkness coming out on DVD. I'm triceratopsing right now.
Well, I'll probably have to watch it because.
Have you not seen that?
Nope.
Oh fuck! I saw it twice in theaters. Basically, really, what made that movie was Benedict Cumberbatch. Some Star Trek nerds were like, "Oh, it's not the real Khan." They're on their nerd fit like they always like to do. But honestly, I saw Star Trek II: Wrath of Khan, and I've seen the new one. It's better. It's just a better movie. I know people are just like, oh, you have this nostalgia, and sometimes I don't think nostalgia is a viable argument ever. Anything else you want to add, real quick, because we're coming up on our hour.
Nope. Seem to be covering most things.
I know, honestly. I mean, as much as I talked, you wouldn't have expected me to have a fucked up throat. That is it, everybody. This is goddamn. We do get into some weird conversations on this show, Nick. We're gonna have to, we're gonna have to stop. This is like my nerd rage show. Really. It really is just something to me. We're getting pissed off at the internet. Because every week you have to, we always have to bring up something where it's just like, fuck you, internet, stop being such assholes. Just be normal. And I know that's impossible, and that's just like such a weird paradox for me to ever say.
I mean, that's the great thing. You get some bullshit on the side, and it's not, dry cut ABC. It's, A, B, Q, W. What the fuck is going on?
What the fuck? And, I almost want to change this show into the Brandon ranting hour, because all I do now is get on the show just about me just getting annoyed with everybody. But anyways, I'm going to try to cut those back, people, so that way, everyone's not like, oh, what new fucking shit is he going to get pissed about this week? Alright, everybody. Give us your thoughts about anything anything we discussed on this show. Like I said, I want to hear about it, but don't be a dick. Rule number 1, don't be a dick. And like I said, if you would like to watch our videos without advertisements, those pesky YouTube advertisements, also, you'll have the RSS feed if you go to our website at bloodyscreen.weebly.com. That is it, everybody. Just go to our website, show us some support. If you liked what we did, if you like us, tell your friends, just tell everybody. We'd like to, get a bigger audience than what we have. So, that is everybody. Good night.